Hello, everybody, and welcome to really a spur of the moment recording of FTL. I have decided to do this because I have seen a lot of people play this game and fail pretty bad, and not so much in that they just fail, but like they don't know what the hell they're doing, kind of failure. Like, there's failure where you just fail, and then there's failure like where you really fucking fail. And so far I've been seeing a lot of really fucking fail, which is typical of a new game. So I guess that's that. But anyways, I'm here to kind of do an advanced tutorial of FTL. This should be for people who seriously want to try and beat this fucking thing, because it is hard. I have managed to beat it once. I think it was this playthrough here. Final Hope. With an awesome score of what the fuck ever, which doesn't matter. Yeah, so I have beat it. It wasn't fun. I mean, it is fun, but you know, it's fucking hard. Anyways. So like I said, this will be an advanced tutorial on this game that will hopefully help you beat it, get through it, whatever. So I'll be using the basic ship here. This is the one you'll start with at the very beginning of the game. It'll be your only one. People like to say this ship sucks, apparently. I don't think it sucks. I think it's actually pretty good. So I'll go over why I think it's good and some of the things you can use as an advantage because of this layout. So if you're completely new to this, you're probably pretty lost as to what this is. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but basically it's the Oregon Trail in space is a good way to put it. It is very, very random, which means at any moment, really, this game could throw you the middle finger and you lose. So I'm going to do the best I can. I don't expect to win. So when I do die, you can point your fingers and laugh at me. And say, "See, Hosen, it's fucking hard and you still lost." Yes, it is hard. There's not much you can do. There's really nothing you can do to guarantee you'll win this game. You just have to get really lucky and get set up to win. There are things you can do to help you win. I kind of think they're more necessities, really. There's things you have to do to have a chance at winning is kind of what I would put it as. Yeah. Anyways, starting ship here, this is what we'll use. It has no augmentations. We might get some later. These are just passive buffs you get for your ship. We start with a Burst Laser Mark II, which is probably one of the best weapons in the game if you can get a couple more of them on your ship. It shoots 3 lasers. Each laser does 1 damage. Very good for penetrating shields. Very, very useful. Yeah, 12-second charge time. Really good. Only 2 power required. Go over a lot of that later. Well, not very much later, but I'll go over most of this. If you don't know anything, I guess I said you'll probably be kind of lost for a little bit, but I'll try to explain almost everything. And over here we have a missile launcher. Charge time is 11 seconds, which is good. Shoots pretty fast. Damage per shot's 2, which is pretty good. Shoots 1 missile. And it pierces all shields. So it goes through all your shields, which is very, very, very good. Yeah, let me go ahead and name my people. Every ship has to have a Hosen, so we got a Hosen. I'll be bringing my 2 friends along with me. This will be my friend Clelk. And this will be my friend Drakeel. Drak-eel. They are my good luck charms. Anyways, there's not a whole lot to look at this screen. I'll go over it more in the game. So we are going to be playing on normal. From what I have heard, normal is supposed to be like impossible mode, and easy is supposed to be like normal mode. A lot of people say just go play on easy first, and then do it. You know, play it, whatever. Go. I say fuck that shit. You know, play the hardest difficulty and fucking get used to it, and just do it. You can do it on normal. Trust me, guys. You can do it on normal. So fuck that easy shit. Fuck having every single upgrade at the end of the game. We're doing this on normal. Again, I'll probably lose, but whatever. And I'm going to call this Raffle Skates, because we are going to go raffle skating through the galaxy. So I'm not going to read any of this stuff, really. I'm gonna have it up there for a little bit so you can read it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pass on. I might go too fast sometimes, so you can just fucking pause it if you want to. Okay, you read it? Okay, good. Here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna pause this because it doesn't matter. So, basically, we're just sitting idle right now. We're not going anywhere. If you hit this, you open up the map screen, and once you jump to a node, you'll get an event. And then once you complete that event, the node's basically barren at that point, and nothing else is going to really happen there. So our node's already barren. Nothing's going to happen here. Nothing can happen here. So we're just chilling, basically, chilling like a villain. All right. So I'm gonna sit here for a while. I wouldn't suggest skipping this if you want a good tutorial of this game. But if you think you're the Raffle Skates Pwners guy, then go ahead and skip it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move some people around and explain that. So we have our 3 crew members here. We have Hosen and Cloak and Jakeel. So I'm going to go ahead and pilot this ship. So I'm going to be the pilot. I'm going to put Cloak on engines. So he's going to run back there, and he's going to go man engines. Now there are a few rooms you can actually put people in and they'll do stuff. That's engines, weapons, shields, and piloting. This is a security room. This is what gives us feed to the whole ship. If it goes down, every room goes black except for the ones your people are in. This is door control room. This allows me to open and close doors manually. This is med bay. If people get hurt, you send them there and they heal. This is your O2 room. You need it for oxygen. 100%. We're good. A lot of people panic when their O2 goes out and they think that they need to get it up right away. To be honest, if you don't have any breaches or rooms that have priorly been, I guess, sucked out of oxygen, like if all your rooms are fairly oxygenated, if all your rooms have oxygen and it blows out and you don't have any hull breaches, then you can last until you're down to like 20% oxygen before anyone starts taking damage. So if your O2 blows out, it's not that big of a deal to get it back. It is, eventually, but it's not like you need to scramble everyone over to it. I see a lot of people do that. So if my O2 gets blown out, kind of see how I handle it. I guess it kind of depends the situation. Anyways, okay, so now I'm going to explain what people do in these rooms. Like, what does it mean to have a pilot? Well, there's 2 rooms that calculate your ship's evasion. One is the pilot room. One is the engine room. These rooms work hand in hand. If one of them is gone, your evasion is 0, and your FTL stops charging. You need it to charge to jump. It'll stop charging, and it will prevent you from jumping like if you're already fully charged. So you need these rooms. Having a guy work on it increases your evasion. So 15%, if I take him off, 10%. Having a guy on the pilot gives you the evasion in the first place. You need a pilot. You can get an upgrade to autopilot this thing, but you still take evasion penalties. I don't think it's ever worth it. Okay. So this guy's not doing anything, so I don't have any power allocated, but he decreases weapon shot time, basically. Excuse me for a moment while I drink some coffee. Okay. So, basic interface. Up here we have our hull points. I believe it's out of 30. If it reaches 0, you die. You can repair it through random events, but most of the time you repair it through the store. It costs you space bucks, or as they call it, scrap. I call it space bucks. Whatever. So you can repair with space bucks that you get for doing shit. Here is my shield count. I have 1 shield. You can have 4 shields. Take note that shields only mitigate lasers. They don't mitigate missiles, because missiles penetrate it. They also mitigate beam weapons, and beam weapons don't actually decrease your shields. I'll get more into that when we get into combat. So yeah, here's our fuel. I've never ran out of fuel. I've been really close to running out of fuel before. I imagine if you're out of it, you'll lose. It's pretty shitty, but whatever. Missiles, self-explanatory. You shoot a missile, it takes 1. Drone parts, you use a drone, it consumes 1. We don't have a drone bay, so it doesn't matter. We won't be getting one, so it doesn't matter. This opens up the ship upgrades. I'll look at that later. So these are all our people over here. They're all humans, so that you can get different race of people that have different bonuses and drawbacks. These are all humans. They're all basic people, which is good. Basic people are good. Each one of them has like a little skill set over there. The more they do their job, and it actually affects combat, then the more experience points they gain for it. For example, when you dodge, your engineer guy and your pilot gain some experience points. When a shield goes down and it's repaired, the shield guy gains some experience points. And go away, trigger happy, I'm doing stuff. Anyways, and whenever your weapon guys fire something, he gains some experience points as well. The wrench is for repairing rooms, and the fist is for fisticuffing with people. So that's that. Okay, so down here we have what power we have allocated to different rooms. So this is all our, This is all our spare power over here. We have 3 spare powers. And here's how much we have allocated in the shields. We have 2 power. So if we take it out, we have no shields. Put it in, we have shields. Take note that shields come in pairs of 2. So you need 2 power in your shields. It's always in pair 2. I can't go 1. The next one is your engines. The more power you have the engines, the faster your FTL charges and the higher your dodge chance goes up. So if I allocate 1 power, you'll see I'll go from 15% to 20%. This is the O2 room. If I turn it off, the O2 goes off. So you can see it starts going down fairly slowly. This is like if you're receiving no oxygen. So I'll let it go for a little bit, and I'll show you how O2 works. You're going to see the room start to get red. That means that the room's losing or has little O2. It might be a little bit hard because it's red on white background, so I'll let it go for a while. Until the rooms border in yellow, you do not take suffocation damage. So take note of that. No one's taking suffocation damage at 57% O2. 50%, we're all still fine, hunky-dory. So, you can see it can drain for a while. Anyways, we'll put it back on. The other one is medbay. You need it powered to have people healed in it, so unless it's really being used, you can afford to have it powered down. I'm going to switch these as well. So over here are your weapon systems. There's 2 bars next to them. That's how much power the 1 weapon takes. So we have 3 power we can allocate to weapons, and 2 in 1, so it works out. So you get them charging. It's not going to do anything right here, but we'll need it. So, okay, that's all the basic stuff. Now, I'm going to go over stuff that's a little bit more advanced. That might be overlooked and not really explained. Okay, first of all, each one of these squares represents 1 hit point. Now, that may seem like, oh, duh, but you kind of, some people might look at this and they just see green. A lot of people probably just look at this and see green. They don't really know how many hits this means. It's just like, oh, I got health and now I don't, or I do, whatever, So each one of these is actually 1 hit point. We should have 30, I believe. Yeah. Likewise, these runes down here indicate 1 hit point per green bar, which means if O2 takes 1 hit point worth of damage, it goes offline. Again, this might seem like a minor thing, but a lot of people probably look at this and just be like, oh, O2 is online. Oh, now it's off. Now it's on. Now it's off. Now it's on. So, know the hit points of your rooms. Apply this to your tactics in combat, such as, if you want to disable somebody, would you want to attack their engines or their pilot? Well, I would say you would attack their pilot. Why? First of all, the engine's room has 2 hit points. The pilot over here has 1, which means if you hit the pilot room at least once, then their evasion goes to 0. So it's stuff like that that's going to help you get through this game. There's also, take note of this in our upgrades here. This is what everything can be. So we have 1 of 3 med bay, 3 of, 8, I think, of weapons, 1 of 302, yada yada yada. Take note that subsystems don't actually require power from the reactor. They power themselves, which is good. But also note that they cap out at 3 hit points. So that means if you're fighting somebody and their reactor's maxed, that's an 8, or not the reactor, the engines are maxed, that's an 8 hit point room. Whereas if their pilot's maxed, that's a 3 hit point room. Much easier to just knock out pilot rooms. Also take note that if there's no, you can upgrade the pilot room to make it so you have no pilot, but you take penalties. I think I talked about that. You can use this to your advantage, such as later we'll get sensors where we can see into people's ships. And sometimes when they have to do repairs, they'll take their pilot off the wheel and go repair. If the pilot's off the wheel, then you don't necessarily need to blow up the pilot's room to knock their evasion down to 0 or something number that doesn't really fucking matter. So information like that is very, very critical. Okay, I think I've gone over most of everything. Is there anything I'm missing? Oh, okay. I want you to take a look at this layout. A lot of people think this ship sucks and that it's bad, but this is probably one of the best layouts in my opinion for a ship. Why? Take a minute and look at this ship. Why is this a good layout? Even if you don't understand this game or you don't know what's coming, you know, why do you think this would be a good layout? You have your answer? Okay. 2 really important reasons. 1, if anything back here gets attacked by an invader, you can use weapons room as a choke point to get into the rest of your ship, which is good because this is a 4-person room, which means you can stack people up in here and just fisticuffs away and make it impossible for them to get in. Yes, they'll probably damage your O2 and your engines, but if you do it right, and I'll explain what doing it right means in a bit, they won't damage this stuff. Also, you have 3 different airlock points. So I'm going to show you something here. I was watching, I think it was Plump Helmet play this, and I think one of his rooms over here got on fire, and he said something like, I can't vent that room easily. Well, he's wrong. Any room can easily be vented. And I'll show you. Because as soon as I open the rooms, they all start venting. It's not like it vents this, then that, then that, then that. It's going to vent it all. So watch. So this one does get instantly vented. These 3, though, all at the same time, get vented up. Any room you have can easily be vented. Well, I guess there's some delay, but not much. Anyways, any room can easily be vented. Don't think that since it's like here or here or here or here or whatever that it's hard to vent. Anything can be vented, so do it. If that's the call that needs to be made. Okay, I reckon I've talked enough, and it's probably time to do some shit. So let's do some shit. So, we don't have any information on any of this, so we're just jumping blind. I recommend jumping to so whenever you're next to systems like this and you have a trail, it does tell you some information about it. So if these were distress or stores, we would know, but they're not. It won't tell you if there's a sun, a meteor shower, or an ion storm. So that's unfortunate. You can get scanners to detect that stuff. That's an augmentation. You have to get lucky, of course, to get it. But, you know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Anyways, as we jump through here, we're going to be chased by people. Basically, the map will just start being cut off from us. So eventually we need to get to the exit, but don't feel rushed on this. You need to explore these sectors as much as you can before you leave, even cutting it down to the very last jump. Calculate everything. Okay. So that's not, these are all whatever jumps. There's nothing really that stands out to me. So I'm just gonna head up here. Okay. So immediately we get into combat, which is good. We're gonna smoke this guy. I'm gonna tell you how to do it. First of all, he wants money from us. We can't pay it, so fuck him. Reject that shit. He says, too bad, you regret this decision. No, I won't. Alright, so I'm going to pause it here for a second. We're going to think about this before we blow him to hell. Okay. Let's analyze him. He's got one missile launcher. That will pin our shields. So he's going to shoot that missile at us, and it's the same one we have. Look at the designs. So that's an 11-second charge time on that, and a missile that will do 2 damage to us. So what rooms can that take out? Well, pretty much everything. If he hits our weapons room though, take note, we can still fire missiles. So that's something to think about. But we do have a 20% evasion, so we might dodge that missile. You can dodge missiles. The other gun here, I believe, is a one-shot laser, which means he's not going to ever penetrate our shields with lasers. He's going to have to fire a missile on our shields room in order for his lasers to do anything to us. Okay, that's our analysis of this. So, our solution, what you want to do is mitigate the damage you take almost in every situation. Because we have a finite amount of life. We can't just be, throwing it away. But it is okay to take damage. Healing is something you can control in this game. You just hang on to scraps when you feel like you need to heal. Try to find a store, which there's about 2 in every sector, and heal. So it's okay to take damage. In fact, it's good in some regards to take damage to your system rooms so that your people repair it and gain repair experience points. Anyways, we're going to play it safe. We want to knock out his weapons. So we're going to go ahead and fire all of our guns at his weapons. It's probably not needed to fire everything. This is probably a 2 hit point weapon system because it's probably 1 power and 1 power on both of these guns. So, if I fired the 3 burst laser and 2 lasers hit and one got soaked by the shield, this room would still be gone. But I'm still going to do it. Also, you haven't seen this room yet. This is a teleporter room. He can teleport people on my ship. Pray that he is that stupid. Though, he is going to just raffle skates through my doors. So, yeah. Maybe it would be a good idea to teleport onto my ship right now. Anyways, let's see what happens. So, okay, so he did teleport, and he teleported a mantis. Now, mantises do 2 times as much damage in combat. So, it's not that bad. I'm going to take him off weapon systems and have him go back here and fight. So, the weapons will fire by themselves. It's not a big deal. So we're going to get this fight going. The other thing you want to do before I don't do it is turn on auto fire. That's a good idea. So there's the missile, there's the laser. The laser got soaked, the missile hit a room. We hit him with, I believe, a missile and 1 laser. So that room is now offline. Now at this point, we can conserve our missiles. We don't need to be firing them anymore. In order to take the missiles off, just hit the 2 button to select like a target and then just cancel out. So, there goes his guy, he's dead. Okay. Now, if we think for a moment, what does it mean when his weapon systems are offline? Yeah, it means he can't shoot at us, duh. But it means a little bit more than that. It means we don't need to care too much about our shield and our engines anymore, which means we can afford to take people off of engines and go raffle them over to get healed. That also means we're not going to be taking crew damage anymore, which means even though Drax fucked up, he's going to keep firing weapons so that he can get experience points. Also, take note that when you don't want to fire missiles anymore, don't take it offline. Just don't target something with them. So keep them untargeted because they'll charge up and you can have a missile on standby to fire if you think you need it. So it's going to sit here charged, and if I feel like I need it, I can fire it. Also, I don't need power in my engines or shields because I'm not being attacked. So I'm going to take one out of engines, put it into health so he can get healed. And we're going to sit here and constantly bombard his weapons and Raffle skates over him because he is no match for me. Now I'm going to put Cloak there. I don't need him to get healed. Let him get experience points. Okay. The day is over. Show us your honor by allowing us to leave with our lives. Now that's all fine and dandy, but we should understand what this decision actually means. And this is what it means. Okay. Some guys will surrender to you. When they do that, they generally give you more fuel, missiles, or drone parts when they surrender. Okay? So like sometimes they'll be like, oh, here's 7 fuel and like 7 missiles or so. And you know, if that's what you need, then you know, take it. And they give you scrap as well, which is nice. But if you're after scrap parts, then blow them up. You will get more scrap by blowing them up. Most of the time. You should. You should get more scrap. So, we need scrap right now, though the missiles are really nice. That is really nice. The 4 missiles are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So I guess right here would be more of a preference. See, it's kind of shitty because even decisions like this can be important. I think I'm just gonna blow them up. I'll take the risk and see how much scrap I can get. I missed some laser shots. It's fine. So, yeah. Keep shooting. They can flee, but they always give you a warning. So, it'll be like he's powering up his FTL. Yeah. 12 scrap, and it's still got 2 missiles. Whatever. It's not bad. Okie dokie. I've been recording for a while. You guys have probably been starting to be sick of listening to me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.